All right, everybody, I am going to start this video off with a simple comparison. Let me show you a clip from the Black Ops 1 campaign back in 2010.
No talk. Play!
What's the plan? I'm thinking.
No talk!
One chance, Mason. We'll take it. Okay.
Bang! You can't kill me!
And now I'm going to show you a clip from the Black Ops 7 campaign. Yeah, I'm not sure what happened either. So we are going to talk about this whole thing, this campaign. This is not a multiplayer review. This is not a zombies review. This is a straight up campaign review. We just played it like an hour ago. So I jotted all my notes down and I wanted to just start this. This is a rant video. And I don't know how long this is going to go. It could be 20 minutes. It could be an hour. Poof. I mean, I have never felt so bad for somebody watching my stream before. I was so frustrated with this. First of all, this campaign is supposed to be co-op, which is obviously a nice option. If you didn't know, Black Ops 3 had co-op campaign and World at War had co-op campaign. So there's kind of a 50-50 shot this could be good. Black Ops 3 we know was terrible campaign. But World at War was an unbelievable campaign and they did co-op the proper way. So I'm live, and as I said, and I'm going, all right, guys, I'm just gonna start the campaign. Well, there's an option at the bottom left to do squad fill, and it says find match. It doesn't say start campaign or click level to start. It says find match. So we're already in trouble because that means we're in an always online situation here. And if you don't want to, you know, fill the campaign up with co-op people, when you start, you're by yourself. So I am number whatever. We started into the campaign, and first I didn't get any cutscenes. I don't know if my game glitched. I got nothing to tell me what we were doing, what happened, what's the problem, where does BO2 connect and all this. It was like, hey, we got to go fight this little spot and we got to go over there right now. And you got your group of people, your random soldiers that, again, you have no idea who they are. Except for Harper and Mason, obviously, but the other two, you're just like, okay, I guess they're part of the crew now. So you get thrown into it, and obviously you're Mason if you're solo, but the game treats you like you're with that group of people. So there's cutscenes popping up, and there's just like random things that are like, hey, I'm over here, but you're by yourself. So when you're in this co-op campaign, it's not like the other three people that are supposed to be in it are just CPU. They're nobody. Hey, look, my team showed back up. Where were they before? Another thing is I was getting like server packet loss in when I was playing this campaign. Initially on my first cutscene that I got, it was super laggy, and I have a pretty good PC. Like, I'm not flexing my PC stats or any of that, but I have enough to run Black Ops 7. It should be able to run as smooth as possible. So I don't know what exactly was the problem there. And then, by the way, this is the first level. We've been in the game 5 minutes, and you immediately just get hit with waves of stuff. It's just waves of people, waves of people, waves of people. And it's almost like a zombies thing. Now, they're soldiers, but you don't know who they're fighting for. Probably the guild, I'm assuming, because that's like the bad guys in this game. And they just start feeding you, and you take them out, and you move forward, and you take them out, and you move forward. And that's really it. There's no sneaking around. There's no like, hey, we're gonna go look in here for some stuff. It's like, okay, do this, go, do this, do that. It's just, it was so brain rot. It was brain rot right away. And I've been using that term a lot lately with brain rot in Call of Duty, which I do not like. Use these jailbreak machines to upgrade the rarity of the weapon you're holding. Okay, wait a second. So this is this like a pack-a-punch inside campaign? We got pack-a-punch in the campaign before GTA 6. And another thing is that they brought in, I actually said it too, it felt like I was in like a Spider-Man campaign, because you would go to the first level as well, guys. You would go to unlock like one of the things to turn the reactor off, and it was those puzzles from Spider-Man, the Marvel Spider-Man game recently, where you had to like connect the electrical circuit, you move around the puzzle, and I'm just like, I don't want to solve puzzles. I'm playing Call of Duty. Now again, I'm gonna say again probably 50 times in this video. Mark it down. You know, maybe in a Spec Ops thing, in a Spec Ops scenario, that's fun. In co-op type of situation, sure. In like that MW2, you know, MW2, the new MW2, they had the, I think it was Spec Ops or co-op, whatever, where you had to do like different coordinated things and do the puzzles. That's fine, because that's like a separate mode. But campaign, no. So another thing, obviously, too, is the fact that this is clicking find match. You know, I had to go to the bathroom, and hey, sorry about that, buddy. This is an always online campaign. When you go to pause, the game is still going. There's still people moving. The TVs are moving. The game is not paused at all. Okay, so we're in. Now this is a co-op campaign. I don't have any other players with me. Can I pause? I don't think so, because all that stuff is still moving. And to me, that is just wild. Like, how can you not pause a campaign? So I'm assuming if you were to have no online, like if you lost online, you would not be able to play this campaign, is what I'm assuming. Now that might make me an idiot if I'm wrong, but if I lost power, any other campaign, you could just keep going through. Lost internet, sorry, not power. You just would keep going through. The stream would crash, but you would be able to keep going through your campaign. So that's another thing. I mean, it is just crazy. So you have no allies, you have no pausing. Another thing is, if you die, there's like no checkpoints. So if you die, you just go back to the beginning of the level, which that ain't good. And on top of that, if you're playing solo, you have a self-revive kit, obviously, but if you do die again, reset. And these missions, the directions Call of Duty has made or gone with mission length is just crazy. I go back to old school Call of Duty. What made them so good was, what was it, 12 to 15 missions maybe in a Call of Duty? It was like 10 to 20 minutes per mission. Anywhere past that, you noticed it. You're like, wow, that mission was a little bit too long. And then even your iconic missions are what, 5 to 7? You got the clean house from MW19 that's not a long mission. You have no Russian that's not a long mission. There is so many missions that are so quick and to the point, great storytelling, and that's just what makes me sad. The first mission was like 25 minutes, and then all of a sudden you're fighting Menendez, and we can get into that in a second. Oh my goodness, I gotta pause for a second. Just a reminder, this is a sequel to Black Ops 2. This was supposed to be the sequel we should have gotten for Black Ops 3 campaign-wise. We're 13 years later, and it's just a disaster. So I'm trying to process what I did in my playtime. So we're obviously moving on. In the next mission, here comes Menendez. No, this might have still been the same mission. Menendez comes out of nowhere. You know, spoiler alert, obviously, and he's not real, but he's like a figment of the imagination. And then we're fighting him. It's a boss fight. It's legitimately like an Elden Ring boss fight. Menendez comes out of nowhere, and this music's playing in the background, like upbeat, fun music, but you're fighting Menendez, and then he like throws down this whole thing, and then you pick up a machete, and then it's a machete kill streak, so it comes down from above. I feel like my brain's not working. Like, am I saying this properly? That's what happened, right? And you have to do this multiple times. So it's not like you just get like the one kill streak and you take him out and that's the end of it. Like, you do it multiple times. It's like 4 or 5 times to take him out. And by that time, I'm checked out. I am completely checked out. Okay, did he drop the carry? Yeah, he did. Whoa, he dropped the machete streak again, guys. That's like the first little quarter. And after that, I said, wow, they are just completely botching this. Now, I want to go back to, obviously, we know that this was not Treyarch. So this is where I'm going to bring in like some older thought processes, and then we'll talk about a little bit more what I played. I think Raven took over the campaign from Treyarch, and I believe Raven, don't quote me on this, but I think they did Cold War, BO6, and BO7. Now Cold War, I feel like they nailed it. Now, it wasn't the best Call of Duty campaign of all time, but it was Call of Duty campaigns how they're supposed to be done. Very linear missions. You got the twist. You can choose different outcomes. Perfect. BO6 is where they went off course. You had the zombies mission. You had again, that was 40 minutes, that mission. You had the open world one where you're going to the different tanks trying to blow them up. and it was like that massive area. And they just have tried to do stuff that Call of Duty people don't want. Call of Duty people do not want open world missions. That is not what we want. And I know what they're trying to do. They're trying to use Avalon and all this stuff. But I think also for me, it's like we're supposed to be getting Blackout 2. Avalon, seeing Avalon for the first time would be cool to experience it with Blackout. So now we played the campaign and a lot of the missions are from Avalon, and you know, now you're seeing it for the first time. That should have just been a surprise, like first time you're seeing it. Obviously we saw it in the Black Ops 6 outside of the map glitch, but it should have been, this should have been the reveal when Blackout 2 comes out. So let me go back to where I'm at with this. First of all, I was somebody that was calling for an early release because one of my favorite memories of MW2, although I didn't really like that campaign, was the early release. It was a 1-week release. They gave out the campaign early if you pre-ordered it. And it was great because not a lot of people play campaign anymore, and it gave you an option to do that. And so when the game came out for real, you just grinded multiplayer or whatever, or Warzone. And then MW3 did it, and it was a terrible campaign, like 3 out of 10 campaign. Worst Call of Duty campaign at the time, and that really pushed them away from doing that. And so I look at this campaign and I'm pushing for it on Twitter and Instagram and all that stuff, and now I know why they weren't going to if they would have released this campaign, they would have lost sales because people would have played the campaign, and it would have been a worse situation than MW3, because MW3 was bad, but it was still Modern Warfare, and Black Ops I don't think has that love anymore. Like realistically, Black Ops hasn't been loved since like Black Ops 3, I think. So if this situation would have happened again, oh dude, Call of Duty gets ripped nowadays as it is, it would have been even worse. It would have been 10 times worse. So you can see why they didn't release it. Honestly, 20 minutes in, I went, yeah, if they released this, I would have been ripping it. It would have been terrible. So let me go back to the history a little bit of Call of Duty and follow along here, and then we'll get into the second half of the campaign. But do you remember when Call of Duty Black Ops 4 came out? Maybe you didn't because you're probably playing Fortnite, but to keep up with the times, they introduced a battle royale called Blackout. And because of this, they actually scrapped their campaign. They did not release it. There was like little stories or missions for the characters, but it was not a campaign. And so the product released with multiplayer, zombies, and Blackout. And honestly, Black Ops 4 is not my favorite Call of Duty at all. It's not really in my top at all either, but it was still a good product. Like the product that they released was very good. So cutting that campaign felt fine because you were getting Blackout. This year, there's nothing to give. So you're releasing this product with campaign, multiplayer, and zombies. But the campaign is so bad, it probably shouldn't have even been a thing. So in my head, people are thinking that they're only getting multiplayer and zombies. You see where I'm going with this? So realistically, in my opinion, they should have just scrapped this campaign. And there's another thing I want to say too, which might be an unpopular thought, but I want to say it out loud and see what you guys think. In my head, this is what should have happened. Campaign should have been completely scrapped. Don't release it. Hey guys, we don't have enough resources to put this game out in the proper way. We really don't have a good story to follow up this. And so we are not going to do the campaign. We are going to release Blackout 2 with the game. So again, it would have followed Black Ops 4 in terms of multiplayer, zombies, Blackout 2. And I think that would have went over well because the Warzone people, they want something new. Nobody's playing Warzone. It's boring. It's the same thing over and over again. Race to get the meta and then run around with your head chopped off or whatever. Blackout would have brought that newness to the game for the Warzone people, which would have made them play. The zombies people have the option to do an Easter egg, and then they would have gotten curse mode for everybody, and then multiplayer is just multiplayer. So realistically, I think this campaign should have been completely cut. I really do. I think that they need to really evaluate things going forward. And I guess I should probably have put this in my final review, but I'm going to put it in this one. Call of Duty might need to go to a multiplayer only service, like at this point. I mean, Modern Warfare 4 probably won't be that. They have campaign and all that, but if it's a Treyarch release, even a Sledgehammer release, maybe we just go to multiplayer and it's $39.99 and that's it, because there's not going to probably be zombies in the next Call of Duty, and then the following one, Sledgehammer, there probably won't be zombies again. So why don't we just do multiplayer at this point? You know, that's what people are following. Have the $40 multiplayer and the free-to-play battle royale Blackout, and call it a day. So that's kind of my suggestion. This should have been scrapped. But let's keep going a little bit more, because I feel like we're still not done. Like, I feel like the story itself too, with it felt like it was flashing back to like Black Ops 2 and then coming back. So like they would find like the crate that Woods was in, and then Woods was there, but then you had to disappear for a second, and then you had to go find him, and it's just this mindless stuff that you have to do. And then you finally find Woods, and the clip that I showed you earlier, obviously he becomes this massive boss. So Raul Menendez early was like a small mini boss, and then Woods was like this massive boss that became like a flower thing that you'd have to shoot the flowers. And I forgot to mention this, while you're doing that and fighting the boss who is Woods as a flower, you're getting attacked by zombies. Are we in campaign? Or this would have been an amazing zombies campaign. If this was if zombies would have added campaign to their story, this would have been great. But I'm fighting Woods as a flower. That's a figment of my imagination with zombies chasing me. And I'm sorry, I can't do that. I won't do it. So we keep going, and obviously this was the fun. Here's why I go back to that Blackout point. The best part of this campaign, I'm not even trolling, was running around Avalon with the one mission where you can use a boost jump, and then you can directly go into your wingsuit. But that's from Blackout. That's not a campaign thing. So you had the grapple gun, you had the wingsuit, you had the high jump. Those were the most fun things about the campaign. And it has nothing to do with the story. It has nothing to do with the tie back to BO2. It's just straight up sad. I didn't even make it to the end game. Okay. I have heard end game is fun. I just got to be honest with you. I probably wouldn't even like it. I am not an extraction guy. I'm not a PvP or PvE guy. I don't like shooting the CPU. The reason I like campaigns, which is CPU, you're trying to catch me in the trap, is because of the story. So like PvE endgame, where we're just shooting a bunch of stuff to like extract something, it doesn't get me going. Okay, it doesn't get me going, and I'm sorry, that might disappoint some people, but I couldn't even make it. I couldn't even make it to the end game. And so I looked on Twitter after the fact to make sure I wasn't alone, and Modern Warzone obviously tweeted out a bunch of clips, and apparently Harper at one point gets to be even larger bosses. So we've got the Menendez boss small, we got Woods medium, and then I guess Harper becomes this massive end game boss. What happened? Why am I playing zombies mixed with Spider-Man, mixed with Elden Ring, mixed with Call of Duty guns? Like, that's about the only reminiscent of Call of Duty you got in this campaign. Now we go to the rating. I mean, what would I do? So let me go over a quick one. IGN gave this a 6. I think a 6 or 7. I didn't mean to say that. I genuinely did not mean to say that. And then I believe Battlefield got like a 5 or 6, and I thought Battlefield was horrific, but somehow Black Ops 7 is worse. It's worse than both of those. Now Doug, Modern Warzone, he gave it a 3 out of 10. I honestly might be lower than that. I literally think I might give this a 1 out of 10, and the reason I'm giving it a 1 out of 10 is because of the fun elements that were in the like free roaming part of the game that were elements in Black Ops 4. We've had these elements before. So I'm hoping Actman actually watches this video, because he did comment on my tweet. Actman, if you're watching this, I watched your video called Call of Duty is creatively bankrupt, or Black Ops is creatively bankrupt. I think they are. I think campaign wise, there is nothing more that we can do. There is nothing more that we can do in the Black Ops series. It is time to end this thing. Stop bringing back Woods. Stop bringing back Menendez. Stop bringing back Mason. People that are coming into Call of Duty now don't even know who these people are. Like, I met people at this launch last night that were born in 2007. They don't know who these people are. They're not buying Call of Duty to play as David Mason again, or Alex Mason. It's over. Like, shut down the Black Ops story. Let's start fresh. And hopefully with MW4, even though it's MW4, it's going to be hopefully a new story in a different area from all the leaks. So I have hope in that one, but it's an Infinity War title. So multiplayer, we don't know what we're going to get, but maybe we'll get a good campaign. So overall, do not buy this game for the campaign. If you're buying this game for the campaign, keep the money in your wallet. Go buy something else. Wait for Blackout 2. If you're a multiplayer guy, I would recommend it, but I don't know. Like multiplayer, we're gonna have a whole separate video on multiplayer and the whole package because I still need to play zombies and to kind of give my final review. So we'll leave that for another video. But if you're a Call of Duty guy just for campaign, please do not buy this. I'm so sorry. In Call of Duty, listen, I get called a shill a lot. I think constructive feedback is always welcome by Call of Duty. My constructive feedback is maybe we just stop doing campaigns if they're like this. That would be my final recommendation. Either way, we've had a great time with this launch besides this, but luckily we just get to uninstall it and we can move right on, guys. So I hope you guys enjoyed my rant. If you did, please leave a like, subscribe, and also make sure you watch that vlog. I really had a great time. Midnight releases or something that I really enjoyed. So go watch that and follow me on Twitter. That's another plug. I'll do that. Oh, and I'm wearing my own merch, guys. Merch. It's going to be in the description down below. My first ever merch drop. Okay, I'm done ranting. See you in the next video.